others. You gotta walk this tightrope and this line, and if you walk all on the line, he's gonna send you to hell. You could live 30 years worshiping and living for him. Make one error, and if you die in that error, you go into hell. What in the name of common sense does that mean? Are you crazy? Why would I even serve him if he's that sadistic and masochistic? I don't need a God like that. And so if I am so focused on staying on the line, I can't fulfill my assignment. But my God is big enough to handle my fault, my strokes, grubs, my mess ups, because he's already prepared for what I might do. He knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and he already made preparation for me before I get there. What follows darkness is light. That darkness is the indicator that light is getting ready to shine. So there it is in Genesis, when darkness was upon the face of the deep, and God in the spirit form moved upon the face of the waters, and then God said, let there be. Because darkness precedes the light. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But he needs the darkness there so that God can move upon the face of the deep, so that the shift can take place. Let's look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that shift take place in the darkness. Y'all didn't hear what I just said. Everybody's not going to see the shift that's happening. They see the chaos, but they don't see the shift. They see all the craziness going on in your life, but they don't understand that underneath the darkness, God is moving in secret. He's moving in quiet. He's moving in the hidden places. He's moving in the cracks and the corners and the crevices. He's moving in places that you cannot see. And when the light comes, they're going to see a new order. not cutting, but untying. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. And it is absolutely wonderful to be back on the air again. I have missed you guys so much, and I can tell from the outpouring of love and support and the kind words and texts and messages that I've received over the past month that you missed me too. So I really want you to know how much I appreciate each and every one of you, all of you that are watching me right now, as well as those who may catch it on the replay. You know who you are. Thank you for the inboxes and the text messages and the phone calls and the Cashapps and all of the support that you have been sending and the good vibrations. I just absolutely appreciate you. I've never felt so appreciated, so loved, so cared for, and so supported. And I want to thank each and every one of you for everything that you've done. Even if you didn't have a way to reach out, or maybe you didn't take the moment to do so, but you thought about me, or you prayed for me, or you whispered a word into the atmosphere of healing and restoration and strength. I appreciate you. It was felt, it was received, and it is absolutely appreciated. Thank you so very much. All right, I'm excited about getting into this conversation this morning with you. Our very first empowerment session of 2022. I didn't even get a chance to welcome in the new year with you all. So happy New Year to those of you who I haven't had the opportunity to say so to before. I know it's almost like the end of January already. This year is moving quickly already, but happy New Year. I hope that you have had a fantastic and productive start to this new year, that all of your goals that you have set for yourself, you are well on your way to accomplishing, and you are accomplishing them at an accelerated pace. And I pray that you will experience exponential growth, development, evolution, revolutionary evolution in your life experience throughout this entire year and on out into the future. And so happy New Year to you. I'm excited about being able to have this conversation with you. Let me go ahead and rest your mind. Those of you who have expressed some concern, I am doing absolutely fine. I feel good. I feel strong. I feel like myself again. So I'm not overdoing it or overexerting, and I'm certainly not moving too quickly. It's been over a month, but it feels like a year has gone by. But I promise you, I am doing great. I'm doing great. So this conversation about today, I want to talk a little bit with you about spiritual alchemy. Spiritual alchemy. And what that involves, what that means. Thank you. I'm just reading the comments. Thank you, Canaria. I feel good. Thank you, Kiwi. It's good to be back. I'm so excited to be back. Thank you so much. Thank all of you. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about spiritual alchemy. And the timing of this particular conversation or discussion couldn't be better, as I've said to you guys, I think it was back in October, leading into November, that we are experiencing a grand awakening, a great awakening that's taking place globally. All around the world, people are awakening to their true self, awakening to spirituality, reconnecting with God, redefining how they establish and sustain their relationship with God, with their own divinity, that they are beginning to awaken to all of the trappings and the limitations that have they've experienced in their life that have kept them inside of these imaginary boxes, keeping them from really fully experiencing life abundantly. I am come that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. That the operative word there is not life, it's not abundant, it is might. The operative word. The I am is come, is always present in you, through you, and as you. But here is the operative word, the most important word of that phrase, that you might have life. It's not guaranteed that you will have an abundant life. There are things that you have to choose and decide to do in order for you to experience the abundance that this life has to offer. Everything in this life is designed specifically to benefit you, to help you to experience life to its fullest, to its overflowing. Everything is designed specifically, intentionally, meticulously for you to be able to experience the greatness, the beauty, the brilliance of life and all that it has to offer you. I know there are some who walk around with a very negative outlook, a negative perspective, and they see the glass half empty rather than half full, ignoring the fact that there is a glass and that there is substance in it. And so they will find the bad in all the good. But I'm here to remind every one of you that your life is surrounded by good, rooted in good. The goodness of God works for you, in you, through you, as you, expressed in you, if you only allow yourself to fully embrace it. You might have life more abundantly, but it is absolutely your choice. No one can give you the abundant life. No one can pray it on you. There's no handkerchief or blessed cloth or blessed any kind of material. There is no prayer, no prophecy that will cause abundance to flow to you, from you, and be upon you. You have to simply know, mentally embrace the fact that you came here and exist as a blessing. You are blessed. You are a blessing, and everything is good around you. Everything. I already hear you right now. Some of you are saying, well, you can't say that, Isaac. I'm like, come on. There are some tough and difficult things that happen. Absolutely. But being spiritual and being an alchemist, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. We're going to get there. But being spiritual is not living in denial. Denial is a river that runs through Egypt. Denial. Okay, that's corny. But still, you get it. Okay? It's not living in denial. It is not calling those things that are as though they aren't. It is calling those things that be not as though they were. Let me say that again. It is not calling those things that clearly are as though they are not. So it's not pretending. It's not living in denial, but it is calling those things that be not, those things that have not materialized or been realized yet, those things that have yet to manifest, to call those things that be not as though they were. To call, to declare, to speak, to decree those things that you see and know within the realm of your soul possibilities as though they are fully manifested. I want you to understand what I'm saying. So I am by no means telling anyone to live in denial, to pretend as though challenges are not taking place, as though you are not having difficulties, as though there are not things that happen in life that seem almost antithetical to what it is that you most desire. But what I'm trying to get you to do is raise your vibration so you can shift your perspective and begin to understand the why to the what. Let me say that again. I want you to raise your vibration that will shift your perspective and cause you to begin to understand the why to the what. I want to read a scriptural text, a biblical text, that it contains some principle that is a good underlying foundation for what it is that we're discussing this morning. You were Theresa. Theresa says, I was writing about alchemy yesterday. Wait, I've forgotten how to use my equipment here. There it is. She says, I was writing about alchemy yesterday. So see, we're on the same vibrational wavelength. So that's where we are. I want to read this text to you. It's from Luke chapter 17, and it's verses 1 through 4. I'm going to read it from the Old English King James Version, and then I'm going to read it again from the Message Bible, which is more of a modern day English version. And then we'll jump from there and continue the conversation. But I want to use this as a foundational principle. This is purported to be Jesus who's speaking. And I say purported because, we know that all of the Gospels are a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. And that they are written by those who received their information purely through hearsay. So the accuracy, the strict accuracy of all of it is, it can be questionable, but the Bible was never intended to be taken literally. It was meant to give us principles, practices, and patterns by which we are able to live and use for our own spiritual growth and development. But that's a whole nother conversation. I'm not trying to go there. All right, so I want to read this text to you because the principle here is very important. Listen to what it says. It says, then said he unto the disciples, that is, then said Jesus, who is the Christ, to the disciples, it is impossible, listen to what he says, it is impossible, but that offenses will come. That statement alone is absolutely powerful. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to jump into it yet. I want to finish reading the text, both of them in the two translations, but put a pin right there in that first part of that clause, the A part of the clause. It is impossible, but that offenses will come. But woe unto him through whom they come. It would be better for him that a millstone were hanged around his neck, and that he cast it and he cast into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones. Take heed yourselves, he says. Excuse me. If your brother trespass against thee, listen to what he says. If your brother, your companion, your compadre, another soul trespasses against you, rebuke him. That word rebuke does not mean to beat them up, tear them down, and destroy them and eviscerate them, as a lot of religious people have thought it to mean. The word literally means to correct them, give them understanding, give them truth in place of error. So he says, and if they repent, have a change of mind, then forgive him. And if he trespass or offend you against thee 7 times in a day, that's not a literal number. It is just giving an example. So he throws out the number 7 arbitrarily, but it is not a hard and fast. You only get 7 times. No, he was trying to say as many times as you are offended, or as many times as they may trespass against you, or do something that may that may have challenged you or hurt you. He says, forgive them. If they do this 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day they turn again unto thee, that is, repent, have a change of heart, change of mind, saying, I repent, thou shalt forgive him. I think I should have gotten some water. Now I want to read the same passage again from the Message Bible. Listen to what it says. And he said to his disciples, hard trials and temptations are bound to come. Did you catch that? Hard times and temptations are bound to come. That's the part where he says it is impossible, but that offenses will come. Hard times, tribulations, temptations are bound to come. But too bad for whoever brings them. Better to wear a concrete vest and take a swim with the fishes than to give even one of these dear little ones a hard time. Then he says, be alert. If you see your friend going wrong, correct him. If you see your friend going wrong, correct him. If he responds, forgive him. Even if it's personally against you, and repeat it several times throughout the day. And 7 times he says, I'm sorry. I won't do that again. Then he says, forgive him. Okay. And in the King James Version, the text follows with the disciples making a statement afterwards. And after he says this, well, Lord, increase our faith. In other words, you're going to have to help us with this one right here. Because facing difficulties and challenges, especially in the form of offense, that is, when we think that someone is intentionally doing something to try and offend us, to hurt us, to cause us harm, that they are intentionally sending out negative energy, negative words, saying negative things about us. Maybe that, been lied on, cheated, talked about, mistreated, buked, scorned, scandalized, Shabbat. Oh my goodness. Y'all know the song, okay? And so he says that these things are bound to happen. Can I tell you something, ladies and gentlemen? Because you are spiritual, because you are a good person, because you are kind and loving, because you have an intimate, growing, and evolving relationship with God, does not exempt you from the challenges of life. He says it is impossible, but that offenses will come. that it's a part of life that you will be presented with challenges, temptations, situations, and circumstances that come along to challenge whether it's your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, your mental well-being, your physical well-being. Those things come as a part of the lived experience. But what I need you to understand, an offense, when we talk about an offense being brought by a particular person, that is a particular action, deliberate, intentional action with the intent of causing harm or hurt or to do damage. Listen to what I'm saying to you. When we talk about these things happening, an offense coming is not the same as being offended. Offense can come without you becoming offended. Let me say that again. An offense can come, an intentional, deliberate act that is intended to hurt or cause harm or do damage. And you get to choose in the offense whether you're going to be offended. Let me say it again. No one can offend you. They can only bring an offense. You get to decide whether you're going to be pissed off, angry, mad, hurt, disgusted, disappointed. You get to decide if you're going to be offended. I hear you. I hear you. But Miles, it's only natural. It's only human. Of course you're going, some things just hurt your feelings. Some things just hurt you, and that's just a part of your human nature. It's natural for you to be offended. I'm telling you not to be natural, but to be supernatural. To make the super your natural. To make the spiritual your natural. I'm telling you how you can escape being offended is through spiritual alchemy. Whoa, what? How do I stop myself from being offended? How do I deal with the vicissitudes and the challenges and the difficulties of life? How do I deal with the inevitable actions and deliberate actions and intentions of others that are set up to cause me harm? You have to learn how to access your ability as a spiritual alchemist to transmute whatever energy is being sent in your direction. There is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, which is the bedrock of spiritual alchemy. Let me say that again. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy is the bedrock of spiritual alchemy. Everything that exists in this earth is at its core energy. We already know that. Energy cannot be destroyed, but it can be transmuted. So let's define these two words because they are really synonymous one with the other. Alchemy, or an alchemist, is a person who practices alchemy. Alchemy is a medieval term. It is the forerunner of chemistry. It was literally based on the supposed transformation of matter from one substance to another. It was concerned particularly with the attempt of changing base metals into gold or other universal elixirs. Spiritual alchemy, but hold on, that's what the word alchemy was for that medieval time. Literal. Transmutation literally means as well to take a particular substance or energy and then transform or metamorphize it until it exists as a different form of energy. Are you hearing me? So alchemy and transmutation are synonymous words. Spiritual alchemy is understanding that I take everything that comes into my life, no matter its originated, intentional, deliberate form, whether it is dark matter, dark energy, negative energy, and I choose to transmute it or alchemize it. Thank you. Dee Dee brought me some water. Thank you. And a towel. That I choose to take that energy and transform or transmute it into a form that I can use that best serves me. I made a post the other day, and I think it was yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure which one. I think it was yesterday. And I said, go ahead and send all of the negative words and speak all of the negative things that you want to speak about me and energy my way. That's okay, because I'm an alchemist. I turn rocks into gold. I can turn mountains into gold mines. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I can take what you intended to be evil and turn it into good, because I understand that all things are interconnected and woven together for good, because I love God and I am the called according to its purpose. That I have the power to choose whether I'm going to be upset, angry, mad, pissed off, disgusted, disappointed, let down, hurt, or all of those other things, whether I'm going to allow your intention or the intention of another to determine my response and determine what I sense and I feel and I emote, my emotions, what I emote, or I can choose to take what you are giving me and alchemize it, transmute it into a form that best serves me. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? So there's a few things that you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the law of perpetual transmutation of energy asserts that energy, which can be neither created or destroyed, changes from one state to another. This means the energy in the universe is always transmuting into and out of form. The energy of the universe, that is all energy, whether it is emitting from another person or another thing, is always in a constant state of flux, always transmuting into form and out of form. And we, as spirit beings, as a divine expression of God, have the ability, the capacity, the authority, and the right to decide in what form that energy is going to take. I can choose to be offended, or I can choose to take that energy and turn it into a form that causes me to rejoice, that elevates me, that raises my vibration, that expands my consciousness, that creates new opportunities for me. An opportunity to be able to share, to speak, to bring understanding, revelation, to grow, to evolve, to create. I have the opportunity to create, to alchemize, or to be an alchemist when those things are brought to me. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, the other side of that means if there is no dark energy, if there's no dark matter, if there's no negativity, I have no raw material from which to create. I have no raw material to alchemize. So I need the inevitable offenses that come that Christ says it's inevitable they inevitably will happen. I need them. They're not happening because God is somehow against me, upset with me, or trying to teach me a lesson. They are happening for my benefit. All things are working for good. Everything is for me. Nothing is against me. So I need that negativity that is brought my way to give me the raw material to alchemize, to begin to transmute, so that I can create the form, the opportunity, the possibility that I desire to bring into realization, to actualize, to manifest in my life. So, ladies and gentlemen, please understand. Please understand. I want you to shift your mindset. I want you to shift your perspective. We're not matching energy over here. Glory to God. Hallelujah. I know that's the popular phrase. That's what everybody talks about now. I'm matching energy all 2022. Same energy you give me, I'm giving back to you. Then that's a waste. When you waste your time trying to reject or match someone else's energy, when you are trying to block what you call negative energy, you are literally giving away your power. Every time someone does something intentional or deliberately to bring offense, they are actually doing you a favor, because they are giving you something to alchemize and to transmute, to begin to turn and shift and begin to metamorphosize, so that it comes into a form, a possibility, an opportunity for you. No, we're not matching energy. I'm absorbing whatever energy you send me, and I am an alchemist. I'll take the rock you threw and turn it into gold. I'll take the mud and turn it into money. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'll take whatever it is you're throwing my way with the intent to hurt and bring out of it happiness, joy, and peace. Are you understanding what I'm saying? When you understand the power of your own divinity, your ability as a spiritual alchemist, then no one can hurt you unless you choose to be hurt. You can choose to displace the hurt and see it as an opportunity for you to begin to transmute that energy, to take that raw material and turn it into something that not only blesses you, but blesses everything connected to you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That's the story of Joseph. that whole analogy, a whole allegory of Joseph about being thrown in the pit and being thrown into Potiphar's house and then thrown into prison and then eventually ending up in the palace, where he makes the statement, everything you intended for evil, God meant it for good. Joseph is portrayed as a spiritual alchemist, because in every circumstance, whether it was in the pit or in Potiphar's house or in the prison, in every place the text says about Joseph, Joseph was a prosperous man. What? How in the world could he be called prosperous when he's in a pit? How can he be called prosperous when he's a slave in Potiphar's house? How can he be called prosperous when he is sitting in a prison? Because the circumstances around me do not dictate the I am. Whoa, God, let me say it again. I said the circumstances around me, whether deliberate or intentional or not, his brothers deliberately put him in the pit. Potiphar deliberately put him into slavery, and then his wife deliberately had him thrown into prison. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But no matter the circumstances around him, it did not dictate the I am, who he is, the divine nature of his being. So he prospered in the pit, and he prospered in Potiphar's house, and he prospered in the prison until he ended up in the palace, and then used the position in the palace to bless an entire nation. He took what was intended and deliberately meant for evil, transmuted it, alchemized it, and turned it into good that not only blessed him, but blessed an entire nation. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Are you understanding? Quit giving away your power. Quit giving away the raw material because you're trying to match somebody's energy, because you're trying to protect your little heart. Man, the way you protect your heart is by understanding that their intention doesn't matter. Oh, God, have mercy. Did you hear what I said? I said, the way you protect your heart is by understanding that the other person's intention doesn't matter. I hear you. I ruffled some feathers right there. I know I did. Because you're like, what you mean it doesn't matter? Of course it matters. No, it doesn't. It only matters if you choose for it to matter to you. If you choose for it to become an issue for you, then it will become an issue for you. But whatever their intention does not really matter. What matters is how you choose to act and how you respond to what you've been given. Are you going to be a spiritual alchemist, or are you going to be offended? Are you going to take the offense and allow it to offend you? Or are you going to take the offense and transmute it into an opportunity? Are you hearing what I'm saying? You see, negative energy, intentional, deliberate, negative energy is the fuel. Oh, goodness, that's good. It is the fuel that is to be used to create the form that best serves you. It's the fuel. It's the raw material. It's what's needed in order for you to create what it is that you desire. But how do you begin the process of transmutation? How do you begin to alchemize it? By not allowing it to matter. Don't let the matter matter. Take the matter and transmute it into the matter that you want. Lord have mercy. I know that I did that on purpose to throw out that paradoxical statement. Don't let the matter matter, but transform the matter into the matter that you desire. Don't allow it to matter in the sense that it causes you to be offended. But take that energy, transmute and alchemize it into matter, a form that best serves you. How do you begin to do it? Well, look at the text. In the text, it says, if your brother or sister or another soul should bring an offense to you, and then he says, when they bring the offense, correct them, rebuke them, give them understanding, tell them differently, speak to them in a manner that helps them to get an understanding. He says, and if they have a change of heart, change of mind, forgive them. And here is the power, ladies and gentlemen. It is the power of forgiveness that begins to bring about the alchemization of the negative energy. Listen to me. The text says, if they repent, forgive them. Okay? If they have a change of heart or a change of mind, forgive them. I'm saying to you beyond the text, whether they change their heart or mind or not, you begin the process of alchemization by forgiving, by choosing not to be offended, by choosing not to be hurt, by choosing not to be pissed off or angered or disgusted or let down, and then choosing to release them from the responsibility of whatever action that they took. To forgive them releases them, unchains them, and gives you now the liberty to take whatever it was that was released and begin to transmute it. As long as you're angry, you can't transmute it. As long as you're offended, you cannot alchemize that energy. As long as you are bitter and resentful and vengeful, you cannot transmute that energy. You are being transmuted and alchemized by the energy. Your form of existence is being changed by the power of their word. You've allowed the energy to change you, to shift your vibration, rather than you changing it and causing it to align itself with your frequency. Are you hearing what I'm saying? When you walk in unforgiveness, when you hold up that wall of defensiveness and anger and bitterness and resentment, and let me get you straight and let me defend myself and let me straighten this out and let me get you told and let me, you have allowed that energy to transmute and alchemize you rather than you being the alchemist. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing are you catching what I'm throwing? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Can you feel me with both hands? How many times have you allowed someone else's deliberate or intentional act that was designed to hurt you be successful in doing exactly what they designed it to do because you chose to hold on to the offense rather than to not be offended and transmute that energy into a form that serves you? You chose to be angry. You chose to be bitter. You chose to get pissed. You chose to be vengeful. Oh no, not that you deliberately did something to hurt them. Well, in some cases, some people do. But more so even that you don't do that. You hope for something bad to happen to them. That's all right. I love you anyway. I'm going to let the Lord fight my battle. The vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I will repay. And so you sitting around waiting for something bad to happen to them because of what you feel like they did to you. And so you have allowed their intentional or deliberate negative action to transform you. And now you are carrying around the weight of bitterness and angry. And now you're at the place where instead of using your energy to expect, hope, create, and materialize and manifest those things that are positive, you're sitting around hoping something bad happens to them so that they'll know, you better not touch me. I'm God's anointed. Boy, if we don't take some of these biblical principles completely out of context and use them in such a stupid manner that causes us more harm than it does anyone else. The old saying that bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Okay? You can't do it. So forgiving begins the transmutation process. It begins the alchemization of the energy, releasing them. Now, how do you forgive? Well, forgiveness is fueled by grace. Ooh, boy, that's good right there. Let me say that again. I said forgiveness is fueled by grace. Can we talk for a second? Can we talk for a second? There seems to be a real shortage of grace among people. I was about to say among religious people, but really it's among people, not just religious people. A real shortage of grace. I made some posts earlier this week and was talking about how spiritual people can be messy and they can be mean and they can be, all judgmental and all of these things, just like we accuse religious people of being. And so you become, when you have such a dramatic awakening in the spirit, when your conscious is expanded and you start to recognize that many of the things that you held on for years are not true and they no longer serve you, it can be such an overwhelming thing that if you're not careful, you can become anti-Christianity. I grew up as a Christian. I was raised in a Christian home. I attended the Christian church. I was a part of Baptist Church, Church of God in Christ, Pentecostals for years. My entire experience with God in the earliest parts of my life is steeped in Christianity. When I awakened, when my consciousness expanded, I began to understand that many of the things that I was taught to believe in Christianity was steeped in lies and misunderstanding, misinterpretations. And I was led amok, led astray. Plymouth Rock didn't fall on, I didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on me. Hoodwinked, bamboozled, and all the rest of that good stuff. Okay? And so it was very easy for me initially to become anti-Christianity. And I see so many people who are awakening in conscious now, who become anti whatever it is they awaken from, whether it's Christianity or Islam or Buddhism or Hinduism, you become anti this. And so now everything about church, about Christianity, about that which you came out of is negative and evil and messed up and traumatic and terrible and toxic and all of these things. Yet it's where you lived and you existed for a long part of your life, and it is what actually brought you to the place of your conscious awakening. So clearly it couldn't have been all bad, but we have selective memory when you go through this kind of a radical transformation. It's very easy to become anti, and then you lose the grace. Yes. that not only you needed, but now people who have not awakened continue to need. You forget that that used to be you. Man, I could send folk to hell with the best of them. Every message I preached, but you were going to hell, was sending somebody to hell. Everybody was going to hell. The homosexual, the liar, the fornicator, the drunk, the person using drugs, you going to hell. Everybody was going to hell. When I awakened and began to understand that hell is not a literal place and that it is a state of mind, that God is not this masochistic, sadistic person that's out to get anyone, it's like a light bulb went off. Do I now denigrate and belittle and destroy and disparage those who continue to hold the same belief that I held for so many years? Or do I give them the same grace that I needed? Oh, God, until I finally came to a better understanding. Can you give them the grace? And when you have that kind of grace, it's easy to forgive and you're not easily offended by the offense. Even when they started calling me crazy and calling me a witch doctor and calling me a warlock and calling me a cult leader. And I've been called some of everything that you can think of under the sun because I started to teach truth and expand consciousness and began to explore and examine and to explain scriptural text in a manner that is literal, not based on a literal understanding, but on the exegetical understanding of the original text, and begin to speak that truth. I was eviscerated, continue to be, by many who were my friends and brothers and colleagues in the Christian faith. And I can choose to be offended and hurt, and there was a time I was. Oh, I'm not here by any means to try to hold myself up as somehow exceptional in this area, because I was offended and hurt and angry and felt unappreciated, ununderstood, unloved, unsupported, and all of those things. Absolutely. And as long as I carried that, ladies and gentlemen, I was allowing that energy to transform me rather than me transforming it. And I became what I thought I had rejected. I talked about Christianity and its judgmentalism, and then I became judgmental as a spiritual person, judging Christians, judging them for what I call blatant ignorance, deliberate, intentional, wanton ignorance. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Rather than transmuting the energy and creating an opportunity for me to be able to share more truth, understanding, expanded consciousness, and thereby bless everyone around me. Once I understood that the attacks were not personal, listen to what I said. 4 agreements, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take it personally. Don't be offended. Don't get upset and angry, and don't let it change you. When I understood that it wasn't personal, that their vitriol was more about them than it was about me, is the moment that I was able to extend to them the same grace that I needed when I was sending everybody to hell and calling them witches and warlocks and devils and demons and some of everything else. The same grace that I needed when I was in that bound cage that religion sets around you and doesn't allow you to really experience the fullness of your being. What I was doing was slowly building another imaginary cage called spirituality. Ooh, Lord have mercy. I'm helping some people this morning. I know I am. I started to build another cage. Oh, I'm letting comments go by here. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a conversation. Let me go back up. Um, Camarera says, I was feeling that way. I had to take a step back and I became angry, but I had to be reminded it was my foundation and I had chose that good. Exactly. 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 I found myself being angry and bitter and resentful and feeling unloved and unappreciated and just mad. And so I became anti-Christian, anti-church. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Anti-religion. But ladies and gentlemen, when you become anti anything, you have allowed the thing to transform you. You have been alchemized by the thing. It is antithetical to who you are, your divine being. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Everything is for me, nothing is against me. So then, consequently, how can I be against anything when nothing is against me? If I fully understand that nothing is against me and everything is for me, what is there left for me to be against? Oh, goodness, did you hear? My God, what I just said. What I just said. Did you hear what I just said? I want you to take a moment and marinate on that for a moment. If everything is for me and nothing is against me, then what is it that's left for me to be against? Am I against the things that are for me? Because everything is for me. So how can I take on the position of being anti-Christian, anti-Islam, anti-Buddhism, anti-religion, anti-this, that, or the other, anti-anything? Are you hearing what I'm saying? When you understand that everything is for me, then no matter what form it is presented to you in, as a spiritual alchemist, you have the ability to turn mountains into gold mines. So you take the form in which it was presented and alchemize it into a form that serves you and then blesses everyone around you as well. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yes. Let me read the rest of the comments. Let me keep going because I don't want this to be a one-way conversation. She says, it is a true shortage of grace and I'm guilty. My first step is how to not want to be angry. I have found it comforting to be in my feelings at times. And at the same time, it's an imprisonment. It is absolutely an imprisonment. That is an acute awareness, Lakivia. Hear me, Kiwi? That right there, man. If everybody can take that to heart right this moment. Sometimes we choose to be angry and mad and bitter and hurt because it feels good. It doesn't feel good, but it feels good. You understand what I'm saying? It hurts so good. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And so it is both. It is both a comfort and a prison. That's what she said, and it's true. It's a comfort and a prison. I create another prison for myself by allowing that negative energy to transform and alchemize me rather than me alchemizing it. What you intended is not important. What's important is what I choose to do with it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? She says, this is so on point, and what I have been praying for, oh Lord, help me. Amen. Amen. Let me go down. I'm going through the comments. Help me now. How do I release the stain that was left behind? Because the occurrence is still in your... Exactly. It's not... That's a good question, Diana. That's a good question. It is not about releasing it or erasing it. It is alchemizing and transmuting it. It is raising your vibration, shifting your perception so that you can see the good in it and what you can make out of it. It's like when I was talking about some of the labels that have been thrown on me, man, about being a witch doctor and a cult leader and crazy, and Miles done lost his mind and went crazy and all that other kind of stuff. But as long as I chose to be angry about it, to be hurt, especially from who it was coming from, I took it personal. It transformed me. And I found myself becoming an angry, bitter, resentful, defensive person who had to run to try and defend myself. The moment that I began to understand that this was an opportunity, when someone expressed those kinds of negative thoughts, ideas, concepts, or beliefs concerning the things that I was saying, it presented me with an opportunity. One, because it made other people who didn't know me curious, and so they decided they wanted to come and find out what it is that he's really saying. But if I was so busy being bitter and angry, then I would just prove the point of the person who spoke it. Two, it presented me with an opportunity to share with that particular person truth. Instead of shirking and withdrawing myself, pulling away, separating myself, how about going to them and saying, hey, look, I understand you feel, think, or believe this certain way concerning me, and that's okay. But I'd like to talk about why you believe what you believe. And let's talk about this particular issue where you feel that I've gotten it wrong. Maybe I have. Can we have a conversation? Now I've created an opportunity for dialogue where both of us have an opportunity to grow and evolve. But if I'm offended and I decide to withdraw myself, all I've done is create unnecessary space for two people to begin to assume, and allow that energy to transform and alchemize me. Now I have matched the energy. You become what you despised. Woo, God have mercy. You become the thing that hurts you, because you chose to allow it to abide. So it's not erasing it, it's alchemizing it. It's not releasing it, it is transmuting it, viewing it from a higher perspective, raising your vibration so you're able to see it more clearly through the eyes of your own divinity. Boy, that's good right there. So sometimes when we think back, it causes us to develop it. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Sure. I know I would. I'd get an attitude quick, fast, and in a hurry. Okay? No, Apostle, I learned to pray and forgive those people because I did not want to let that negative energy get inside of my space. Exactly. There you go, Jamie. Not allow it to change who you are. Not allow it to begin to transmute you. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen? So forgiveness is fueled by grace, and grace is giving people the same extension, time, and space to grow and evolve and to become that you needed yourself. I'm not anti-Christian. I'm not anti-Muslim. I'm not anti-religion. I'm not anti-anything. Because everything is for me, I'm for everything. All things are lawful to me, but not all things are serving me. It's not expedient for me at the moment. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So I get to choose. I get to choose the form in which things exist within my sphere of influence, within my lived experience. And I choose joy and peace and happiness and contentment. I choose grace and love and beauty and brilliance. I choose those things because I'm a spiritual alchemist. Throw me the mud and I'll make money. Throw the rock and I'll make gold. Are you hearing me? Go ahead. Go ahead. That is the whole algorithm idea behind the cross. That whole song about I'll rise again. Go ahead, nail the nails in my hand, and pretty soon you'll see. And da, 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 da. It's like, go ahead, because what you intend to have a certain outcome is really working to my good and ultimately to your good as well. There's the thing, that's the thing that's really key, is that though their intentional, deliberate act, the intent was to bring you harm, it actually brings you good and them. Because when you respond with goodness, kindness, love, you begin to transmute that energy. It not only blesses you, but it blesses them with an opportunity for growth and awareness and consciousness expansion, freedom and liberty, with another opportunity of being. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. Thank you for teaching this, because it helps me to understand myself and it helps me to understand exactly. Okay? We are alchemists. Every one of us are spiritual alchemists. Every one of us have the law of perpetual transmutation of energy at our disposal. That's our magic wand, if you will. That's our melting pot that we get to stir up our potion in and to create and conjure what it is that we desire to have in our lived experience. We take the power of the law of the perpetual transmutation of energy and use it to now not match energy, but to alchemize that energy and turn that dark matter, dark energy, negative energy into a form that not only serves me best, but serves all of humanity and everything connected with me. Now, let me conclude by saying, I am by no means presenting this in a form or manner to suggest that it is simplistic. The principle is simplistic. The execution is a challenge. It's a challenge because we have been brainwashed or trained and entrenched into certain responses to negative, what we perceive as negative intentions and offenses. But you have to kill the ants. Y'all remember that? ANTS is an acronym for automatic negative thoughts. There are certain negative thoughts that are just automatic because they've been so programmed into us. You're supposed to be mad. You got a right to be mad. You got a right to be upset. You got a right to be bitter. You got a right to feel this way, that way, because this, because that, because this, because that. And so because it is so entrenched and programmed within us, then those ants, those automatic negative thoughts immediately come to mind, and then we act on them and we respond to them, begin to emote, that is, have emotions that align themselves with those negative thoughts. But if you're going to become a healthy alchemist, you got to start killing off the ants. Kill off all those ants. Catch yourself right in the middle of the thought. right in the middle of the response, when it comes to your conscious mind. Does this lend itself to alchemy? Or am I just receiving the offense and choosing to be offended? You got to kill the ants. The automatic negative thoughts about a person, about a thing, about a place, about yourself. I have a bad habit, had a bad habit, let me say it like that, because I'm working on it, so it's not still a habit anymore, of speaking real harshly about myself. I'll, be sitting on the couch and know that I need to go do something. It's like, Miles, get your lazy butt up and go and do da-da-da-da-da. And then I was like, it occurred to me, it's like, why are you speaking so harshly to yourself? Why are you calling yourself lazy? Why are you calling yourself fat? Why are you calling yourself old? Why are you hearing what I'm saying? And again, it is not calling those things that are as though they aren't. It is calling those things that be not as though they were. To speak those things that align themselves with what it is that you desire to actualize. So stop speaking to yourself negatively, calling yourself stupid or crazy or dumb or slow or country or backwards or ugly or fat or too skinny or too short or too this, that. Stop speaking negatively about yourself. Kill those ants. Because all of that is programmed in you. You didn't come here feeling that way about yourself. You were taught to feel that way about yourself by situations, circumstances, relationships, encounters, experiences, and traumas. And so those automatic negative thoughts, those ants begin to just build up a mountain and a molehill, an ant farm within your conscious mind, and come popping out every time someone steps on the anthill and stings you. No, you got to kill the ants. You got to kill those negative thoughts about things, about people, about places, and about yourself. And walk in your divinity as a spiritual alchemist and begin to transmute and alchemize everything into the form that best serves you. Because if it best serves you, it will serve all humanity around you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Hold on. I see the comments coming up. I just can't see them without my glasses. Hold on. Diana says, yes, Lord, it is. Got to go through the process. It takes trying to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Amen. It's not easy. It's a challenge. You have to train yourself to think differently. Automatic negative thoughts, those ants. Okay? You got to kill the ants. To realize God in all things is to see things in a higher way and claim the object of sight. Yes! Yes! That's what I'm talking about. That's an earth shaker right there. World shaker. Are you hearing me? Yes. Yes. So I'm not, even though the principle itself is simple, the execution is not simple. It does take time. It does take concentrated, deliberate, intentional action to re-change, reconstruct, remember, remind yourself so that you don't keep responding, repeating the same action again and again, and you start acting instead of responding. It takes time and deliberate effort to do so. But you're an alchemist. You're God in the flesh. You're a divine being, so you absolutely can. Yes, you can. This is about empowering us to be better, to be able to fully experience and express our own divinity within this three-dimensional form to its fullest degree, to get all of the happiness that this world was designed to give us, and to go through it unmolested by the anger, the bitterness, the hatefulness that can exist and inevitably will be brought to us. But just because the offense comes doesn't mean you have to be offended. So I'm encouraging you throughout 2022 and on beyond. Don't match energy. Don't you dare match energy with anybody. Take that energy, whatever it is, and alchemize it. Cause it to be transmuted into a form that serves you, to align itself with your own divinity. Let it bless you. Let it elevate you. Let it transform you. Let it elevate you and accelerate you in your abundant life experience. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Amen. That's right, Jamie. I think I'm reading that right. Hold on. Transmuted into a form that serves you. That's right. Okay? To look through the lens of your own divinity. You are the eye of God. Ooh. That third eye, that pineal gland, that is the physical manifestation of the spiritual third eye, that divine mind, divine sight, the eye of God, that's in you, through you, as you. It is you. So instead of choosing to look through your natural eyes, look through your eye and see what really is. And you'll see the opportunities that are consistently presented to you. Nothing is against you. Everything is for you. So you have no space to be against anything or anyone. Man, I love the church. I love Christians. I love Hindus, Buddhists. I love everyone. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Love them all because I understand that they can't be against me. If God is for me, who can be against me? Since God is for me, who can be against me? No one. So the against me is an illusion of my own making. They may be delusional and illusional, have an illusion within their mind that they are doing something against me, but that's their delusion. I choose not to participate. I understand your actions serve me because nothing can be against me. No one can be against me. Are you understanding? Are you understanding, people? I don't have any enemies. I don't have any haters. I've always thought that was kind of silly anyway, the whole hater thing. But I don't have any haters. I don't have any enemies. My only enemy is inner me. How I choose to show up in this life. How I choose to either act or respond. How I choose to perceive a particular thing. External, I don't have no enemies. I don't have no haters. Nobody's against me. They can't be. They're for me, even if their intention is not to be. You can't help but be for me. So even when you are intentionally giving me negative energy, you are giving me the fuel of which I can create opportunities, not only for me, but for you too. So you can't be against me even if you want to. That may be your intention, but because it's your intention doesn't mean that it is. You can't be against me because God is for me. Are you understanding? Where are my alchemists? All my spiritual alchemists that are online with me right now. Put in the comments, I'm a spiritual alchemist. Make that declaration over your life right now, this morning, at this moment, and that you are going to deliberately and intentionally now begin the process of elevating your consciousness, expanding it, raising your vibration, and then walking in your divinity to alchemize every energy that you're presented with. Write it in the comments. I am a spiritual alchemist. Okay? I see how you wrote it, Kenoria. Please do this for me, as well as you, Jamie. Don't write I'm. Write I am. There's power in those two words. Not I'm. I am a spiritual alchemist. Write it out. I am that I am. I am a spiritual alchemist. Everybody, all 14, 15 of you on here, put it in the comments right now. I am a spiritual alchemist. Declare it over yourself. Repeat it to yourself every single day with every single moment throughout the entire day. Remind yourself when those ants begin to come out of their hole, I am a spiritual alchemist. I choose to transmute and alchemize that energy. That's how you kill the ants. That's it. I see you. I am a spiritual alchemist. That's how you kill the ants. Kill them all. Transmute that energy into form that serves you and everything around you. Woo! What a great conversation. I think my voice was kind of raspy and stuck because I haven't done this in over a month. So, so I got to get back in the form, get the preacher voice back. Glory to God. I got to get my deep bishop voice back. Hallelujah. No, I just got to get it back in shape to do a lot of talking and carrying on. So, y'all know I like to have fun. I like to laugh. Okay, so, but man, I'm glad we had this conversation and this dialogue together. I pray that you were empowered, encouraged, that you were expanded and stretched, that you received this truth, this revelation, this understanding, and that you are able now to begin to apply it and execute it in your life. And let's all see radical transformation take place in each and every one of our lives. I want to encourage those of you who are watching me today and those who may be watching on the replay to, if you've been blessed by what you've heard and you can appreciate the information that's been given to you, to sow a seed today to give in support of the work that I'm doing here and empowering so many people here on this, through these channels and around the world. I appreciate all of your gifts. I appreciate every single one of you who sow seed and those of you who are tithers. Thank you so much. Remember, we understand that tithing is a principle. It's not a law. It's not you're going to die and be, cursed if you don't do this, that, and the other. But it is a principle of giving that we use in order to create opportunities for increase. So if you want to become a partner with the Emerge movement and begin to share your tithe,
then we want to give you that opportunity. You can do so by using our Cashapp, Zelle, and PayPal. Now, eventually, soon, PayPal is going to go away. They're doing some kind of crazy stuff with PayPal here lately, and it's kind of creating some issues. So I'm thinking of just eliminating PayPal altogether real soon. So it'll just be Zelle and Cash App for right now. But I encourage you to give, encourage you to do so. If you have not gotten your copy of my books, any one of the 3 that are out right now, Words to Live By Volume 1, Words to Live By Volume 2, as well as Inner Sense, then you can order them on Amazon. How about that? You can go to my online store, which is aimministriesinternational.org, at the online store that's on your screen. But you can also go to Amazon.com and you can look up Words to Live By, or you can just type in my name and those 3 books will come up and you'll be able to order them from Amazon as well. I'm really blessed by that as well. That was exciting to be able to get those books on Amazon. So if you're interested, please go ahead and order your copy today, and you'll be able to get it immediately. There won't be any problems with getting it shipped out like it was before when I was using a different company. Now with Amazon, it ships out immediately. You can get it within a couple of days. So you can order from Amazon. If you are wanting to have life coaching and a mentorship, be a part of the mentorship program that I've set in place, then all the information that you need for that is on the website. I'd love to be your mentor, your life coach, to help empower you and prepare you for whatever it is that you desire to accomplish in your life. I'd like to be able to empower you with the tools that are necessary to fuel your dreams and to help you to bring into manifestation and realization and actualization those things that you desire to have in your lived experience. It's not free, but anything that's worth having is worth investing in. This is an investment in yourself, in your future, into your dreams and your vision. Go to the website, check out everything. All the information is there. And then if you'd like to sign up for the life coaching or mentorship program, you can do so right there. I'd love to have you and love to be your life coach. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. I see some more comments have popped up. Let me turn over here real quick. I watch it again because I missed out on portions of it. Yes. Oh, okay. She asked, good question. Will 9 a.m. be a consistent on Sunday mornings? I am going to try and make that a hard yes. I will say sometimes situations occur that make it unavoidable and I'm not able to come on at 9 a.m., but it is my intention to be on every Sunday morning at 9 a.m., as well as to return on Thursday nights as well for our Thursday night empowerment consistently. Okay, so yes, unless something else comes up. Okay? Much needed. God has given me what I've been praying for. Thank you. You know I love you, girl. You my heart. Tell your brother he need to reach out to me. His wedding is supposed to be coming up next month. He asked me to do it. I haven't heard anything back from him yet. So I'm not going to be coming down that way to do the wedding if I don't hear from him. So tell him he needs to reach out to me and let me know what's what. Okay. Hey, Gloria, I was wondering where you were. Okay, well, yeah, watch the replay. I'm glad that you were able to hop on at the end, though, all right? Okay, everybody. Listen, have an absolutely stunning, outstanding, brilliant, magnificent, wonderful, stupendous, splendiferous day. Y'all can tell I like words, huh? And I'll see you again real soon. Bye now.
Thank you for tuning in. And be sure to catch us every Sunday at 7 p.m. for empowerment.
That we are a unique expression.
Every Thursday at 7 p.m. for momentum.
The creation of God and the God who created him.
Once again, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. and we'll see you next time.